Redneck, Virginia, home to James Madison, father of the Constitution, and mother of some of the most electric crowds in all of college football when they come out to support the Dukes. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the West Virginia Mountaineers, taking on a team from the Sun Belt, the James Madison Dukes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Mountaineers will kick it away to start us off. And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. So James Madison's offense will get the first possession of the game. Sometimes you sense that what the kids call swagger is a false bravado. This dude is nothing but real at wide receiver.
He's got that speed, and you see DBs, they're probably watching him come on the field right now, and they understand it's going to be a long game. This guy can go get it. He can run. He can do a little bit of everything at the wide receiver spot.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Coming after it. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. He's looking downfield to throw. And he feels the heat coming in. It burns him up. Another sack. And the Dukes will send out the punt unit. 3 and out. They got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He's got great speed. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. So the West Virginia Mountaineers offense will go to work for the first time. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key for their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box.
He's going to go for a big one. He caught it into the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Yeah, and this offense, man, they look good. They looked great last week, obviously putting up huge numbers. Again this week, coming out the gates in the first quarter with the scoring drive. This offense is putting the college football world on notice.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really quickly. They need to put something together here, Palmer.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Gives it to the back on the draw. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Trying to get to it. And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line. The Dukes will punt this one away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Slips through the line. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
They'll give it to the back. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. They're down to the 20, 1st and 10. Wide receiver shows motion. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Quarterback on the move, still looking. When you've been around like this guy has, you know how valuable picking up the first down with your feet can be. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. A first down run in the red zone. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Charlotte came away with the win today, but not in dominant fashion. In fact, the folks in the Queen City had to sweat things out for much of the day. Could have been better, but certainly could have been worse. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Pocket starts to collapse. Makes the catch. It sprints. He's brought down. Solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They were all over him. Nowhere to go as that third down play turned into a disaster. And the Dukes decide to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Now 2nd and 10. They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. They almost got a first down there. Stopped a yard short. It'll be third down.
And oftentimes running backs love drop plays because there's less traffic in front of them. The offensive line is selling pass. The quarterback's selling pass. They don't get the handoff until the very last possible second. So the D-line...
Oh, look out. There he goes. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Spinderella. Oh, my. Circle, circle. Spinderella. Put him in the spin cycle and picked up the first down. The Mountaineers are moving quickly down the field. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. He caught it. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a first and goal. Defense rolling out the big bodies to try to stuff the run. Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Mountaineers!
One thing this team has shown early this year, it does not take them long to find their footing. They get off to fast starts. That was critical for them winning their first game, and you've seen it here in this one too. They show up ready to go. There's no sleepwalking. I think you got to give this coaching staff a ton of credit for putting their players in good positions to have success.
Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right, the opponent.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. They'll try to get it going in the right direction this time, 2nd and long from the 19.
Man, this defense has been so impressive to watch. Look at them. Get to the quarterback, get the sack. They play so fast. It's like they have 12 men on the field. Another good performance going down right now. Coming off of last week, putting a goose egg on the board against their last opponent.
They're bringing heat. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. The Dukes line up to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. Fourth time he's punted tonight. He gets a block. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A-game for this one. They've circled this one all off-season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
Keeps it and gets the first down. Afterburner's coming. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run. And the Mountaineers line it up with a first and goal.
Well, the defense just spent a whole lot of energy, too. That was a long play. That developed and took time, and they were pursuing, and they weren't able to get him initially, so...
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, West Virginia. PAT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 28-0. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
West Virginia, 28. James Madison, 0.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to...
And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7. These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer. Feeling some heat. He's going to go down, and he's in his own end zone. It's going to be a safety. They'll boot it away from their own 20 after taking the safety. Let's see what he can do with it.
The returner is tackled down at the 42, and the West Virginia
They'll start this drive from the 42.
First and 10.
Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. It's caught downfield. Offense on the move. A big play there, gets it to the 30.
Well, this guy's going to make catches all over the field.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. From the 39-yard line, it's first and 10. They'll try the run. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
At the 31. Second down.
Now the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Wide open downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback. And
got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And they take it in for 6 more points.
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
West Virginia, 37. James Madison, 0.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
Set to kick this one away.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. And the last time they had the ball, they wound up giving up a safety, Jesse.
Yeah, that was ungood the last time they had the ball. So they got to do something.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Got room on the return. He's at the 10. He's out of bounds at the 5, and what a job to set up his offense.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really building.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Mountaineers. Seems as if he has reservations for 6 every time he touches the ball.
What is that, Reese? That's 3 already, I think, for him in the first half. So, great start. I'd keep feeding him, I think. He's doing okay.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a run.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And after that last sack, man, you could just see it. They are feeling themselves. After pitching a shutout last week, after dominating early in this game, it just seems like they're playing with a different...
Fires into traffic, picked off. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35. Well, this is just the type of field position this offense wants. Trying to find his man on first down. Fires to the right. Got a wide-open receiver. Touchdown, West Virginia. Made the snag and strolled his way into the end zone. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
That makes the score. West Virginia, 51. James Madison, 0.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Pressure coming. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. The incomplete pass leaves him with second down. He's looking to throw. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
They've already got a bunch of sacks on them today and another quarterback pressure. This offense has to try to find a way to get the ball out a little bit quicker, to protect their quarterback a little bit more. Whether it's screens, whether it's draws, whether it's rolling your quarterback, something has to change for this offense to protect their quarterback a little bit better.
Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. He'll come out throwing on first down. A shot toward the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Mountaineers!
Touchdown, West Virginia.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that.
0.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. First down for this offense. They're going to open this drive with a pass. They cough it up inside their 3. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. Is this Christmas? Is this the gift-giving season? An absolute gift in the end zone, and the defense takes advantage, recovering the fumble for the touchdown. And he knocks the extra point through the uprights.
That makes the score West Virginia 65, James Madison 0.
So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner goes down. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it in halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. And the Dukes will bring the punt team onto the field. They'll look to pin him deep. A fair catch is called for and made just across the 50-yard line. West Virginia has it in the offense ready to go to work. And with the ball in a spot like this, David, they might try to get something on the board before the break.
Oh, great opportunity to be aggressive. Find those.
Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. He makes a grab. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. OC, quarterback, one snap, put it in the end zone. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot.
And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. The defense burns their 3rd and final timeout of the half. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, you've had yourselves a great broadcast so far today in Harrisonburg. And it'd be easy to say these 2 offenses are glad we've hit halftime based on their respective performances. It would also be accurate. Turnovers and sacks have told the story so far. And you gotta believe the play calling has been the issue, right? Time to shred those game plans and just get back to basics. And with that, let's head back to the guys at Bridgeford Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. The Dukes will line up to kick off and start the second half. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Makes a move. Oh, what vision. There he goes. Open it up. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, West Virginia.
What a way to seize momentum here. You start the second half, you take the first kick back to the house. Great blocking and an awesome job in the open field, making people miss and showing you the speed on that return. Wow.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Memphis is in front. They've controlled the line of scrimmage to this point, but you take a look at the scoreboard and you see we have ourselves a tight game. They're up by 7 over Ball State. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. He makes the connection. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the...
And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45. First down here for the offense. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the right. And the pass is intercepted. No room to return, but no problem.
James Madison.
Like that, and they'll have it at the 25. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. This is where you make the money on the drives. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Man, this thing's starting to snowball now in a bad way for this offense. 2nd interception in as many drives. This quarterback has got to be able to turn the page and make better decisions.
He's got an open man. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
I love that play call, and quarterbacks are always licking their chops after their defense gets a takeaway because they know now, hey, I got a sudden change situation.
Touchdown, Mountaineers. And the route is on. Ready to try the point after. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
West Virginia, 86. James Madison, 0.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it. Right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
They'll ride the hot hand. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Last play was a near disaster. Now dealing with 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. It'll be a draw. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. And the Dukes will try to pin them back with the punt. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Kicks it high, and it's just hanging there as if it has helium in it and floating down toward the earth. He's got great speed. And there he goes. He will score. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
And every year there's exciting new freshmen to look at and talk about and pump up. And this guy got a lot of that pump, and you see why. The dynamic play on special teams. You can see the speed, you can see the wheels, and you know the reason the fans were jacked up when they signed this guy this year.
And he added the extra point. The kickoff team is out there after that punt return for a touchdown. They'll try to pin him deep. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack. The Dukes send out the punt unit. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. A high kick trying to pin them deep. Makes the catch at the 45. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Incomplete, and man, is he lucky to get that one back. Defense that close to an interception. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. From the gun, to give, looking for room. Open space at the 25. Touchdown, West Virginia! And the stomping has commenced. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. That drive took no time at all. A couple of plays and finished it with a long run for the touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable in that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
On 2nd down, wants to throw it. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Just missed on the connection, incomplete. And the Dukes will punt it away on 4th down. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Slips through the line. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oak. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. Looking for a huge play. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. A defender was right there.
Yeah, and I like the shot, the aggressive play down the field. And we like throwing those jump balls up to my receiver because usually the receiver makes the play and makes the defender look bad. Nice job by the defender getting a hand on it, tipping that ball away from the wide receiver.
And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one. The Mountaineers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Back to pass, it's Woods. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And the pummeling has started. On to attempt the try. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3 and out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that one.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. So now they'll try to mitigate that disaster on second down from the 15. They'll run it from the gun. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
Fourth down. Number 11 on to kick it away.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. Well, guys, so far, this has been a massive beatdown, and it would appear the biggest challenge is what kind of records can they set as we have a look at the third quarter stats. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. The Dukes will call on their punt team. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Got it near midfield. Touchdown, Mountaineers! And the punishment has been extended. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Nevada is dominating this one thanks to an offense that's done whatever it's wanted since the opening kickoff.
And your James Madison team will take over. First and 10.
He wants to start this drive with a pass. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. That sack gets this offense behind the chains. It's second down. Out of the gun, the inside give. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Third and 10, still backed up inside their own 20. This drive hasn't really gotten started. From the gun, wants to pass. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. And the Dukes will line up to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. He got it. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it, first and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Powers forward. Touchdown, West Virginia. And the beatdown has ensued.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. So we'll see the offense on the field to start this drive. He's looking to throw it. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. From the gun, wants to pass. And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
And how about this defense? They got the donut going. And here's one thing I'll tell you about the donut. Late in the game, you're talking about on the field. We want to finish this thing and keep that 0 on the scoreboard. No matter who's in the game, who we've rotated, everybody's trying to get a 0 up there.
Touchdown, Mountaineers! And the route is on. Lining up for the PAT. And with extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Man, you just can't put a price on having a guy like that back there to return punts, and he turned that one into a touchdown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to...
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. A big play for the defense with a first down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on second down. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. The Dukes will send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. Smart move to keep it on the ground. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Got him downfield. Touchdown, Mountaineers! And the stomping has commenced. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. He'll start this drive firing. Getting some heat. What a complete disaster. What a terrible decision to run that far backwards and take the safety. So after giving up the deuce on the safety, now they'll be able to kick it away without a rush from the 20. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. West Virginia has it and the offense ready to go to work. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today too, David. They had a really good game plan coming into this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and to keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them, or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
They'll leave it with him. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they've built this lead. They've had a great day today.
And the Mountaineers will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the capper on that drive, the 10-yard touchdown run. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be dragged down. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and
this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
the defense defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on.
They're going to get him for a safety. Tried to make something out of nothing and still got stuck for the 2. After giving up that safety, they'll have to boot it away and give it right back to them.
The returner is brought down at the 48, and the West Virginia offense will take
Quarterback
over.
and running back set up in the pistol.
42, Spider.
They'll go to the counter. At the 40, there he goes. Ripping through the defense and getting it all the way down to the 24-yard line. The offense lining up for a first down play.
Let's go.
Right back to the well. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
29.
Give to the running back. Puts him in the spinner and moves on. Touchdown, West Virginia! And the pummeling has started.
Number 24 in the end
The
zone.
kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
To kick it off.
On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be brought down.
11, and your James
A first down
Madison
for the
will
offense.
take over. 1st and 10.
Looking to move it through the air. He's going up top here late in the game. Can't connect on his first throw.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from. You try.
Fires one high and deep. He fought to the bitter end, and the final incompletion puts a wrap on it. They won the game today. That's 2 in a row. If they win the next one, it's called a winning streak. It's been done before.
And we're seeing the identity of this team coming to fruition. You just get the sense they're finding out who they are, what they're about, what they're going to do schematically, and who their big play